This is home, Fox, Alaska.
A building and fixtures are just assets. They don't make a business. A company is all about the people who will utilize those assets to the fullest. People AK specializes in defining business growth strategies, then sourcing the best employees. Our specialties include recruitment, temporary staffing, employee growth and retention, succession strategy. Whether it's a company that's ready to grow or an individual looking for career growth, the right place to call is People AK. We have your back.
We have some great news.
Ooh, do I get more treats?
No. But you can treat yourself to truly unlimited internet without worrying about data caps or throttling for as little as $64.99 per month when you bundle it with DirecTV Stream. That means more streaming, more internet, and more savings.
Well, I can dig that.
Yeah, I can dig that too for as little as $64.99 per month. Learn more at alaskacommunications.com/offer. Alaska Communications. Expect more.
This is home. Your Alaska Link starts right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Holmes, in for Trill Gates, who is in Washington, D.C. this week. And the reason why is our top story. This week marks a historic moment in Alaska, the swearing in of a new Congresswoman who will become the first Alaska Native in the House of Representatives. Trill Gates joins us now with more on Mary Peltola's busy week ahead. Trill?
Thanks, Jamie. As you can see, I'm here in Washington, D.C., standing at the steps of the U.S. Capitol. It's going to be an exciting week for U.S. Congresswoman-elect Mary Peltola and all of Alaska. Peltola arrived in the nation's capital over the weekend and has already been interviewed by the national media. We found her answering questions outside the U.S. Capitol building this morning. I had a chance to speak with Peltola's acting press secretary. Josh Wilson tells me it's been a busy and emotional day, especially when Peltola walked into the former office of the late Congressman Don Young.
And she's got that relationship with his family. She's received a few text messages from his family members wishing her well. And so when she saw that sign today and, his name's no longer on it. In fact, her name's not on it yet. It just says Alaska member at large. And so she had an emotional moment. And so there's happiness, there's exhaustion, there's stress, there's every emotion you can imagine.
Brian Gouvenier is an Alaskan visiting D.C. and was thrilled to see Peltola today.
I was just walking along the mall today, and then I said from the distance, this is Mary Peltola. And then actually my wife over here is so envious. She's in the middle of her work. She says, you're so lucky.
Gouvenier, who is Alaska Native, is proud to have Peltola as the first Alaska Native in the U.S. House of Representatives.
For Native folks, as far as Alaska is concerned, it's about time. They need to be represented, and they're a very important part of the state. They have actually a culture that we can learn a lot from.
Tomorrow, Congresswoman-elect Peltola has been invited to the White House. She'll also get some much-needed family time before heading back to the Capitol to be officially sworn in. That's happening at around 2:30 in the afternoon Alaska time. Gouvenier hopes the swearing in of Peltola signals a change in the political climate.
We have been all hoping to have finally civility in politics. We can disagree with each other, but we should not get nasty about it.
We'll be there for tomorrow's swearing in of Alaska's new Congresswoman. I'll be sure to bring you all the highlights from our nation's capital. Trill Gates, your Alaska Link, Washington.
Thank you, Trill. And your Alaska Link's Trill Gates is going to be in Washington, D.C. to cover the swearing-in ceremony of Mary Peltola, the first woman and first Alaska Native to represent Alaska in the U.S. House of Representatives. Peltola has also been invited to the White House tomorrow afternoon. Trill will also catch up with Senators Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan. Join us all week long for our complete coverage. Let's head over now to meteorologist Alyssa Triplett for a look at weather conditions around the state.
We're continuing to see that several low-pressure systems keep the weather pattern on a very wet note, as we see that the South Central definitely have been seeing some of those higher impacts, and there will be some returning rainfall to the interior as well as the Panhandle as we step into the middle portions of this week. Now, when we look at rainfall accumulation, not as significant as it has been before, but again, the Prince William Sound and southeastern portions of Alaska are going to deal with the heaviest rainfall here over the next 24 to 48 hours. So some of those marine impacts will come back. So as we take a look at the Dewey's marine forecast, some of those stronger winds noted with times of heavier rainfall. So note that there may be some of those small craft advisories in place as we'll see this system continue to spread across much of the South Central into the southeast as we head into that Wednesday forecast with times of that stronger wind and as well as there is some spots of sunshine in place, but it looks like we could be staying rainy towards the weekend, and we'll have more details in our local forecast in just a few minutes.
You can now let the Anchorage School District know what you think should be done to get the district out of the red. We told you the district is facing a $68 million deficit in the next fiscal year. A survey that is now online asks about cutting programs, but does not mention any administrative cuts. Your Alaska Link asked the president of the Teachers Union his thoughts.
The problem has to do with the school district's budget needing to be finalized in February and our legislature not coming through with funding until later in May or June. And so we need to align those better so that these type of practices don't continue.
Your Alaska Link reached out to the Anchorage School District. A spokesperson told us this is the first of several surveys, and there will be opportunities for other topics in the future. The Anchorage School District kicked off more changes to its bus routes today. The district switched from Cohort 1 to Cohort 2. Each cohort refers to the 9-week-long rotating schedule of which students will be picked up and includes roughly 7,000 students. They can ride the bus for 3 weeks, then they have to find their own transportation for the other 6 weeks. The district says it has 17 bus drivers returning to work by the 19th. Roughly 40 more drivers are in various stages of interviewing or being hired. So far, the American Foundation for Suicide has reached more than half its $100,000 goal for suicide prevention resources here in Alaska. Right now, more than $61,000 has been raised as part of Suicide Prevention Month in September. Your Alaska Link's LaShawn Donaldson reports part of that money came from a special event over the weekend.
The community came together for Out of the Darkness annual walk to remember those lost by suicide and to share their personal stories. Area Director for the Foundation for Suicide Prevention says that events such as this one provide resources for those struggling.
Really critical when you're struggling with your mental health. It helps us overcome stigmas around help seeking and really informs our community on what are the risk factors and warning signs that we need to be aware of when we're concerned about our friends or family.
According to the National Institute of Mental Health, there are several warning signs for suicide. Some signs include talking about being a burden to others, saying goodbye, and giving away award prize possessions. One participant says suicide can affect anyone.
Suicide doesn't care where you're from, your background, your color, so it's something that unifies us and we should, come together.
Other participants share what this walk means to them.
For me, it's just a way of giving back and not being sad in it, but just celebrating her life and her family who still remembers her.
Where we can talk openly about our hurt and our pain, a place to go to get help, and know that we're not alone, but we're a community.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, you can call or text the number 988 or to chat at 988lifeline.org. LaShawn Donaldson, your Alaska Link.
Still ahead, Alyssa is back with the forecast for your hometown. But first, it is time for today's Hometown Hero.
Hometown Heroes, brought to you by Anchorage Chrysler Dodge Center.
Congratulations to Lieutenant Dwayne Fujimoto of the Anchorage Police Department on his retirement. Lieutenant Fujimoto started at APD in 1986 and has served for more than 36 years. He's received many awards throughout his time at APD, including the Chief's Letter of Recognition.
Tonight's marine forecast is brought to you by Dewey's Cook Inlet Marine.
Hey, Alaskans, this fall, plan to be your own captain. Come to Dewey's Cook Inlet, Alaska's largest marine dealer. We carry the top-selling boats in Alaska. Hughescraft, Duckworth, G3, Sea Ark, Lund, and RH boats, all powered by reliable, fuel-efficient Yamaha outboards. Dewey's has specialized in marine for over 50 years. Being strictly marine allows Dewey's to offer quality products and top-notch service year-round. Dewey's Cook Inlet, your one-stop marine store, corner of 76th and King Street.
Attention vehicle owners. Great news! Alaska's largest, Anchorage Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, will pay you big bucks for your unwanted car, truck, SUV, crossover, minivan, even this. There's nothing to it. Bring it to us. In just minutes, we'll make you a terrific offer. Even if you're just curious, bring it. When you sell to us, you get more. Fast, fair appraisal. Top dollar paid. Right now, right here at your hometown dealer.
On your mark, get set, go! Open one of the first 5,000 new accounts this year, and you may receive a $250 contribution with our Dash to Save incentive program. Head to the starting line with just $25 and start your education savings today. Certain restrictions apply. See website for details. To learn about Alaska 529, its investment objectives, risks, and costs, carefully read the official statement available at alaska529plan.com/dash to save.
Hi, I'm Trill Gates. The Your Alaska Link team wants to make sure you get all the news of Alaska that's important to you and your family. Not just the events, but the context and the effects it has on your family. Meteorologist Alyssa Triplett makes sure you get more than the highs and lows of the forecast.
And as everybody should have some type of rainy weather,
she gives you the weather story you need to plan your life. We invite you to join us on ABC and Fox Alaska.
Now, your Alaska Link weather for Anchorage and South Central.
Our rainy August is spilling into September as we're not even halfway through the month, and the South Central is already seeing well above average precipitation numbers. Now, our September total here for Anchorage is now up to about 2.25 inches, bringing us an inch above average, and there is more heavy rain on its way. Even just this morning, we brought in about 1/10 of an inch for the first round, and now that second round is going to be ongoing through the overnight into our Tuesday forecast. We'll drop those temperatures down into those upper 40s, but we will see that there is going to be some stronger winds as the system moves in. You may have noticed some of those this evening, but we'll continue to see wind gusts up to about 15 to 25 miles per hour, especially from Seward into the Anchorage Bowl and through the Prince William Sound. Now, when we trend through the overnight into the Tuesday forecast, we will see the heaviest rainfall continue, especially across the Seward area and then into the Prince William Sound. There's still going to be the showers all the way through Mat-Su Valley, though, with this low pressure system continuing to slide across the southern portions of Alaska. Now, there will be some quick relief. We'll see still some scattered showers Wednesday, early on Wednesday, but the relief will come late on Wednesday into Thursday. But we'll still see on that 7-day forecast, there's chances for rain on Thursday, but it's all going to be dependent on this next system. There's a couple different options that the system may be taking, and it's going to be dependent on some of this warm tropical air that is creating some of these tropical systems out west that could be pushing into our area. Still, though, it looks like heavy rains and some stronger winds could be setting up late on Thursday into our Friday forecast before there could be another round of some relief on its way. But what we'll continue to track is what's in our backyard right now, and that's that heavy rainfall with this low pressure system. So at least a half an inch from Kenai up through the Mat-Su Valley in place, but as noted, the heaviest rain is across Seward into the Prince William Sound with up to about 2 inches possible with this system. So rolling into starting off here even Tuesday morning, you're still seeing those pockets of some of that heavier rainfall, and it's all across much of the South Central. Does look to turn a little bit showery at times for locations, but note that there's still going to be some of these rounds of heavier rainfall moving through even into about Wednesday morning before it starts to thin out a bit. Also note that we still have some of that cooler air aloft creating some of those snow showers in our higher elevations. As this time of the year, that average temperature is falling pretty quickly overall, as we're seeing that our average high is about 58 degrees. We do stay below average in Anchorage at 54, Seward and Whittier around 51, Valdez 52, Wasilla around 55 degrees. Our daylight hours for our Tuesday will be a sunrise at 7:22 with a sunset at 8:28, which is about 13 hours and 5 minutes of daylight now. Now, extended forecast is mentioned does still give us those scattered showers on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, a little dry period in there before we'll be focusing on that next system to bring effects Thursday into Friday, keeping those temperatures below average. But the good news is that we could be bringing in some quieter weather for the weekend forecast, so just in time to hopefully get outdoors.
I work hard for my paycheck, not Kelly Shabaka. A federal investigation found Shabaka overbilled taxpayers for 596 hours while working for the government. She overbilled taxpayers for 15 weeks of work. And you and I paid for it. Her excuse was that she was engaging in fitness activities. Engaging in fitness activities? And now she wants to be a senator? Go take a hike, Kelly. The United Association is responsible for the content of this ad.
Why am I here?
We're here to talk about your problem.
Problem? What problem? Mom, it's your hair.
1,000 bad hair days in a row is a problem.
Please get help.
From simple cuts to colors to complete makeovers for women and men. At True Colors Hair Design, we have the tools and hair professionals to help. Call now. Do it for the children.
Come to True Colors because when you look good, you feel delicious.
The Affordable Care Act may become a little less affordable, and Burger King says it will invest in $400 million in advertising, restaurant remodeling, and technology upgrades. Lillian Wu has more in today's Business Briefs.
The Affordable Care Act may become a little less affordable. Insurers on ACA marketplaces are proposing median monthly premium increases of 10%. That's according to a Kaiser Family Foundation review of proposals made by 72 insurers in 13 states. According to the review, some insurers are asking for increases of as much as 20%. Many consumers won't actually pay more because of enhanced federal subsidies through the Inflation Reduction Act, which Congress passed and President Biden signed last month. Burger King says it'll invest $400 million in advertising, restaurant remodeling, and technology upgrades. The plan is called Reclaim the Flame. It includes investing in premium branding for the flame-grilled Whopper and the expansion of its chicken portfolio with the creation of the Royal Chicken Sandwich. The plan also includes the remodeling of 800 restaurants and upgrading restaurant technology and kitchen equipment. And Milkshake Monday is back. For the second year, IHOP is celebrating the big day. The observation coincides with the wider National Chocolate Milkshake Day. Dine-in customers at participating IHOP restaurants can buy one, get one free on any flavor milkshake from 12 to 8 p.m. on Monday.
2 hikers narrowly escaped Washington's Bold Creek fire after becoming trapped on a mountain. Jennifer Dowling has more on their escape.
I see the flames.
When Steve Cooper and Matt Bishop summited Mount Bering, they were met with an explosive sight.
We could see the fire coming from the other ridge. You know, it's 3 or 4 miles away, I suppose. And we're like, well, we need to get out of here.
The men set out on their adventure at around 6 a.m. The skies were mostly clear, and they were completely unaware a fire had sparked about an hour prior, and an inferno was growing in the forest.
That was the way we came.
After a nearly 6-hour trek up, they finally had an eagle-eye view of the massive wildfire now barreling their way.
It was definitely one of those moments where you kind of just were like, all right, this is it. We're probably not going to make this.
They turned around immediately, but in the V-Notch climbing area, they realized the fire had cut off the trail back.
Oh, that came fast, dude.
All of a sudden, the trail in front of us is in smoke and just erupts into flame.
The men checked their GPS, looking for alternate ways off the mountain as the fire raged.
It roared like a jet engine. That was our route down the mountain in front of us, and it was engulfed in flames. So it was terrifying.
When that fire was coming up that ridge, it was hot, extremely hot.
The two followed a dry drainage fire chasing alongside.
We are trapped here. We've got fire on either side.
Hopefully you guys get to see this video because otherwise we didn't make it.
Conditions were too dangerous for a rescue.
We just got off the phone with 911 in search and rescue, and they cannot rescue us. We were going to try to...
It was slippery with ash and debris.
It's pretty steep.
At one point, Matt lost his footing and nearly slid off a cliff with a 200-foot drop before grabbing a tree.
If he would have dropped, I'm pretty sure he would have died.
After hours of stressful scrambling, the men finally picked up a trail near Barclay Lake where they could hike to their Jeep. Steve chronicling their escape on The Path Least Taken, his YouTube channel.
We had determination. We wanted to stay alive and make it back home to our family.
It was a traumatic experience. I hope no one else has to go through what we went through.
The two want to warn other hikers not to make the same mistakes. They say don't go into the mountains on red flag days, and if there is smoke in the air, even a light amount, forgo the hike.
We got lucky a lot of times on the way out.
Still ahead, a growing number of credit card companies are implementing a new strategy in hopes of preventing gun violence. That story and more coming up.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Hi, this is Ted, and this is not a mattress commercial. This is a dance break.
Get more sleep without counting sheep and have another night of bliss. Sleep in style with a big old smile, and you know you save some bucks. Save more bucks at the Mattress Ranch. Made in America.
Dish makes TV easy. Now with all of your favorite live TV and streaming apps, all in one place.
All right, here we go. Discovery Plus.
Because we know how much you appreciate having all you need, all in one place. Streaming and live TV all in one place. Dish, tuned in to you.
This is MasterChef Back to Win.
Fox Wednesdays.
There's someone from every season
With a shot at redemption. No mistakes can be made. Which All-Star will step up to finally be named Master Chef?
That is finale worthy.
Wednesday at 7 on Fox Alaska.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights is an annual tradition which this year is even bigger with more fun, scares, and star power. Horror icons joined opening night at Universal Studios Hollywood as the season gets started. And Ashley Vorkin was there with them, even going in to bring us a preview of those monster-filled mazes.
The season is here for tricks, treats, frights, and Halloween Horror Nights. Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights is calling on all horror fans as they dial up the scares. Horror stars at the opening night red carpet party shared how they do partaking in the frightening fun.
I'm a tiny, tiny baby when it comes to this. I'm going to be screaming. The last time I came was last year when they had the Hill House maze, and it took me 3 days to recover.
I love the idea that they put together a story that scares you, and it's live. It's alive.
I've always been a fan of haunted houses, horror experiences.
Turn your camera.
That's the fans. Yes!
That's what I like about all of this.
Horror icon Jamie Lee Curtis is also excited to share Halloween ends with those fans soon.
They love Laurie Strode, and I'm Laurie Strode. Yeah. So what I get is this beautiful, reflective feeling of love and support.
So for an ode to Strode, I started my visit in Haddonfield for you. We did run into her co-star a few times. Here we go. Being very dedicated to bring you this preview, I led the way at Universal Monsters Legends Collide. You're welcome. I did it! The event has more haunted houses than ever before. Among the many experiences are the horrors of Blumhouse, the terror tram with inspiration from Jordan Peele's Us and Nope, and the musical twists and turns of The Weekend After Hours Nightmare. Cinematic scares, monster mazes, it all awaits at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, running through October 31st.
A growing number of credit card companies are implementing a new strategy in hopes of preventing gun violence. Visa announcing over the weekend it will start categorizing purchases made at gun shops, joining companies like MasterCard and American Express, which previously made similar commitments. Officials at Visa say the company will now use an international standardized merchant code for sales at gun shops. Previous purchases have been labeled as general merchandise. A majority of Americans are experiencing financial hardship because of higher prices. That's according to a Gallup survey. 56% of respondents say higher prices are causing them financial hardship, and that's up from 49% in January. People are responding by buying less, buying only essential items, traveling less, or canceling vacations altogether. They're also purchasing less expensive items or generic brands, eating out less, and even growing their own food. The Food and Drug Administration warning patients and doctors about unusual cancers found in some people with breast implants. The agency announcement coming Thursday after an in-depth routine review of several medical reports citing the discoveries of a rare lymphomas and squamous cell carcinoma in the scar tissue that surrounds the implants. According to the FDA, there are roughly 50 reported cases of these types of cancers in people with both saline or silicone implants. Officials say these rare cases are not the same as previous reports of lymphomas linked to breast implants. Some of the symptoms include changes in skin appearance, swelling, and pain. Stay with us. We'll have more after the break.
None of this was meant to be easy, but whoever said we can't get through this has never met a true Alaskan. In our home, our residents, our staff, our family are made of true Alaskans through and through. We're strong, tough, wise, and we've got heart. We're Baxter Senior Living. Welcome home.
An active retirement and carefree home ownership? You'll find it at Chester Park. Rather than an apartment building, Chester Park is a nonprofit cooperative owned by its members. Units range from 1 to 3 bedrooms, each with their own kitchen. Community amenities range from hobby shops to a pleasant dining room. There's always something fun happening. One visit and you'll see why retirement living is at its best at Chester Park Cooperative.
Come discover what makes the Inlet Pub House at IT so special. Looking for a special way to celebrate your next occasion or simply want a nice night out? Enjoy the Inlet Pub House, featuring a unique fine casual dining experience, whether in our Inlet Banquet Room, the secret Inlet Speakeasy, or in your own personal Inlet Igloo. Plus, Pub House catering with bar service is perfect for your next private function, big or small, whether it be the Tower or the Pub House. Discover IT.
Camper Valley in Wasilla on the Palmer-Wasilla Highway has travel trailers, campers, toy haulers, fifth wheels, Class A, B, and C motorhomes, and more in stock for sale today. They're proud dealers for outdoor RV manufacturing. 4 Seasons insulated trailers featuring mountain and backcountry series, trail series, titanium series, and more. Tired of payments? Not using your RV anymore? Call 376-8100 and turn your RV into cash. Camper Valley, your Alaska RV headquarters. Sales, service, and accessories. Camper Valley on the Palmer-Wasilla Highway, 1 mile from Fred Meyer.
Traces of polio virus have been found in the wastewater on Long Island, but there have been no reported cases of the disease. Sonny Rincoin reports.
Nobody should panic. There is no crisis right now. There is no active case of polio in Nassau County.
But there is an active case in Rockland County, and that's why Nassau recently started including polio virus testing of wastewater. Whatever gets flushed. The tests have been routine for the last 2 years because of COVID.
They've been key because what they allow us to do is make determinations as to whether there's a spiking before people actually get the symptoms and report it to their doctors. So it saves us days. in which we can prepare.
The county executive says that's what they're doing now. A trace of polio virus turned up that would have come from this North Shore region that includes Manhasset, Port Washington, Roslyn, and Glenwood Landing. The sample taken at the local wastewater facility and sent to the state. It could mean one of two things. Either someone recently received an oral vaccine that's not available in the U.S. Traces of virus would turn up in wastewater.
If we have subsequent tests that continue to be positive, that will kind of give us an idea of if there's ongoing, if it's an ongoing situation or if it was just one test.
The other possibility is that someone here has the virus and it hasn't been reported because they're asymptomatic.
About 74% of people who have it don't have any symptoms. So it's possible that that's the case, and that's why people just need to be vigilant about what their vaccine status is, because that's the only way to protect yourself.
One town's schools have closed and residents ordered to boil water after E. coli bacteria was found in the system. David Bienick reports.
Well, this is where the water that we are serving today to our patrons.
Only bottled water is available at this restaurant in Wilmington. The soda machine is off limits, and customers are advised not to wash their hands in the restroom sinks.
We are making everything that we usually make, but everything that we use water for, the water has to be boiled.
Wilmington officials issued the boil water order after finding E. coli bacteria in the town's main water tank. Some of that water, so officials are not sure where the contamination, which is often found in animal waste, is originating.
Particularly during the summer, because of the demands for water, we do use a lot more water from the MWRA, but it's really a mix.
School officials in Wilmington decided to cancel classes, and the town says people should use boiled or bottled water for things like drinking, cooking, brushing teeth, and washing young children.
The kids, they can't go in the bathtub. They've been crying.
The town says so far there's no word of anyone getting sick from E. coli, and the boil water order could be lifted as early as this weekend.
Today, there's no wait, so it has affected us.
Lifting the order can't come soon enough for the restaurant owner. He estimates he lost about 30% of his business on just this first day.
But the busiest is the weekend, so we go on an hour and a half wait. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
About 15,000 Minnesota nurses are estimated to have walked off the job at 16 hospitals across the state on Monday morning. But healthcare providers say they are committed to staying open. The three-day strike began at 7 a.m. Monday. Nurses arrived well before the start time, though. Currently, the Minnesota Nurses Association says the strike will last from 7 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. Negotiations between 7 major healthcare providers and the Minnesota Nurses Association have been going on for 5 months. And after negotiations over the past weekend did not result in a deal, the picket lines were set up. Many veterans come home dealing with the trauma from war. That trauma can lead to depression and thoughts of suicide. Justin Finch tells us about a new study that has some ways to offer support to veterans who are struggling.
Researchers at the veterans are more likely to die by suicide than veterans who separated from the military more than 5 years ago. The researchers say there are ways to support veterans with suicide prevention. For friends and families of vets, these include talking, to offer support and to listen, as well as safeguarding any firearms. For vets, health experts recommend finding someone to talk to, like a licensed therapist or a doctor. If you or someone you know is struggling with feelings of sadness or suicidal thoughts, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch.
After the break, we have details on how history is being made across the NFL this season. Stay tuned.
Bailey's Furniture is now having a never-before-seen overstock sale. Here at Bailey's, we have thousands of items that are not only in stock, but all of it must go at a one-time only reduced price. Take advantage of additional discounts on our Everyday Buddies price and even on clearance items. That includes living room, bedroom, dining, and youth furniture, plus everything else in the store. Come in while we're overstocked with quality furniture and mattresses, all at slashed prices.
I work hard for my paycheck,
not Kelly Tshibaka. A federal investigation found Tshibaka overbilled taxpayers for 596 hours while working for the government. She overbilled taxpayers for 15 weeks of work, and you and I paid for it. Her excuse was that she was engaging in fitness activities. Engaging in fitness activities? And now she wants to be a senator? Go take a hike, Kelly. The United Association is responsible for the content of this ad.
Giving back and paying it forward. These are not so novel concepts that have become very popular. Eagle River Automotive has been giving back to the Eagle River Chugiak area by supporting Wounded Warrior Project, Wheels for Hope, Elks and Lions fundraisers. We honor our police and all they do for the community. We're paying it forward by sponsoring Dollars for Dogs in support of the APD Canine Unit. Visit dollarsfordogs.org for details.
Christmas Cantata, an enjoyable event for the entire family and Christmas masterpiece praised by 1 million people worldwide. The Gracias Choir, first prize winner of the world's most prestigious International Choral Festival Award, is known for its masterpieces in opera, musical, and choir's vivid, unforgettable Christmas moments. We invite you to feel the importance and warmth of your family.
It's Monday Night Football season, and fans are settling in to watch the game every week. Janae Norman has the details behind the scenes and how history will be made across the NFL this season.
Football is back, but this year, the gridiron will look a little different as more women are changing the face of the NFL. In recent years, the league has doubled down on its push for teams to hire more women among its coaching ranks, and it seems to be paying off. The NFL has 15 women in coaching roles, up from 12 last year, the most ever in any professional male league. And this season, another historic first. There will be 3 female on-field game officials.
When you get an opportunity, you have to be ready to knock it out of the park.
The Washington Commanders' Jennifer King made history in 2021 when she became the NFL's first ever black female assistant coach.
Obviously, we earned our right to be here just like every other coach in the building.
King is one of 6 full-time female coaches walking the sidelines this season. Another is Angela Baker, an offensive quality control coach with the New York Giants. The Pittsburgh native getting the nod in March.
It was something I didn't necessarily see coming, so it was amazing to be able to say you're going to work in an NFL organization and be a part of the evolution minority coaches.
Baker said other female coaches already in the league reached out to her when she landed the job.
Jen King and I will chat every now and then. Callie Brownson and I have been friends for a while, so I talk to her often, good days, bad days, when I need advice, things like that.
Amanda Ruler is one of the newest members of the NFL Coaches Club. This go-getter was thrilled when earlier this year, the Seattle Seahawks came calling.
I felt like I belonged for the first time in my entire life to a coaching staff that was greater than anything. I felt like I was beyond anything I've ever done in my entire life. This is where I belong. Meet me here, meet me here. Good.
Oh. Ruler and all these fierce women making their mark on the field and inspiring the next generation of coaches.
Now you can see women like myself doing it. Now other people can be it. Other people can achieve it. Other people can dream about it. She did it. I can do it.
And now we have the story behind the Queen's beloved corgis.
It was another love story for the ages. Queen Elizabeth and her precious corgis. Her father was fascinated with the unique breed, bringing corgis into the royal family in 1933. And when Elizabeth was gifted her own, Susan, for her 18th birthday, there was no separating them. The dog even accompanying the Princess and Prince Philip on their honeymoon.
So that's Emma, Lynette and Monty.
She would own more than 30 corgis over the course of her reign, most of them descended from her first dog, Susan, even creating a new breed, a dachshund and a corgi, a dorgie. and they were rarely far from her side.
She was a very busy working woman for all of her 70 years on the throne, and they provided a release from that pressure.
Princess Diana once saying, "The dogs preceded Her Majesty like a moving carpet." The Queen said she loved corgis for their energy and untamed spirit.
And where did you go?
The Queen stopped breeding dogs later in life.
I know what you want.
It was her worry as she was getting older. She did not want to leave any young pup behind. Tonight, it's believed she is survived by 4 of those loyal dogs who were with her until the end.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's Christopher Watson.
All right, kid. Hang on.
The 3rd season trailer for The Mandalorian was one of the many, many highlights from Disney's D23 Expo in Anaheim, California over the weekend.
We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark.
We also got a new trailer for Andor, bowing on Disney Plus September 21st.
And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
Samuel L. Jackson's back as Nick Fury in the first trailer for the new Marvel series Secret Invasion, dropping next year. And we got our first look at Halle Bailey as Ariel in the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. You can find the trailers and more news online. Disney's parent company of ABC News. The horror flick Barbarian bowed in first place with a better-than-expected $10 million, but that's cold comfort to exhibitors. It still caps the 2nd worst box office weekend of the year. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
Stay tuned. We'll have more after the break.
Life is too short to go through it saying huh or what. I came to Accurate Hearing Systems, and Donna DeMarco brought my hearing up to as good as it can be. It's a new lease on life and social endeavors as well. I would strongly recommend Accurate Hearing Systems and Donna DeMarco.
What's going on in your life? Accurate Hearing.
Hey, Alaskans, this fall, plan to be your own captain. Come to Dewey's Cook Inlet, Alaska's largest marine dealer. We carry the top-selling boats in Alaska. Hughescraft, Duckworth, G3, Sea Ark, Lund, and RH boats, all powered by reliable, fuel-efficient Yamaha outboards. Dewey's has specialized in marine for over 50 years. Being strictly marine allows Dewey's to offer quality products and top-notch service year-round. Dewey's Cook Inlet, your one-stop marine store, corner of 76th and King Street.
Live streaming of your local newscasts on YourAlaskaLink.com is sponsored by LFS Marine and Outdoor on 63rd. LFS, your boating and fishing DIY superstore.
In the wilds of Africa, gorillas are renowned for being very strong and also very gentle. In South Central, Green Gorilla Movers have earned the reputation for being strong, but very gentle with furniture and belongings. They'll treat your possessions as if they were their own. Plus, they keep a flexible schedule to make your move as convenient as possible. Need to move, but your new home isn't quite ready? No problem. Green Gorilla has short-term storage available. Call Green Gorilla Movers and save some greenbacks on your next move.
This is more than theoretical. It's for real, not hypothetical. Big Bang Theory. Watch it all the time. Sing so. And just in case you forgot, you're in my spot. The Big Bang Theory.
Weeknights at 6 and 6:30.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie. How sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right. Let's go.
Oh, honey, Honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.